r/AskReddit. What became so popular at your school that the teachers had to ban it? Capri Suns. Kids were too stupid to figure out how to get the straws in, and teachers got tired of helping everyone. That's hilarious and sad. What's weird is Capri Suns were easy to puncture, but it feels like between 2005 to 2009 they suddenly became stupidly hard to puncture. Rulers. Year 10th in HS, for whatever reason someone decided to smack a guy across the head with a ruler. Then everyone went out and bought a ruler. Suddenly everyone was a knight with a sword. Staff kept confiscating them, but rulers are cheap, so kids just went out and bought them by the handful. They ended up banning rulers at a school. The kids who were taking geometry that year and needed them had to be assigned rulers at the beginning of class and then turn them back in. If you rub the metal edge of a ruler against the sole of your shoe really fast back and forth, it gets hot enough to seriously burn someone and leave a scar. A kid did that to me back in 8th grade. Hurt like hell and left a mark that took a decade to fade. I was pissed. There was a kid in my high school who made probably around $500 in a month for making duct tape wallets. Administration found out, but didn't ban the wallets, just banned conducting business on school grounds. Someone went around school and sold his origami at 50p a piece. He'd get orders every day and then make them at home. Sounds like the school should support the entrepreneurship of its more motivated students, assuming everything they are selling is legal. People bringing in their Game Boy Color and playing during recess. Kids were getting mad they weren't getting turns and they were afraid of someone stealing games. Ducking Jeremy found a copy of Pokemon Silver the day after mine was stolen out of my backpack. Can't get too mad at the kid though. His brother was thrown in jail for murdering their mom about a year after that. Well, this escalated quickly. His brother wanted to be the very worst that no one ever was. Slap bracelets. I remember in the 80s/early 90s when they got banned at my school. The rumor that went around school was that somewhere some kid had sliced their finger down to the bone with a cheap imitation slap bracelet. And now parents all over the country were pushing back. This is exactly the type rumor I would expect from suburban moms. Hair flips. Circa 2003, long skater hair was very trendy. Said kids were flipping their hair out of their eyes/face. An 8th grade history teacher went on a vendetta under the reasoning that hair flips pollute the air with "hair dirt." Kids started getting detentions. That's a really stupid pretense, but I can understand why the teachers got annoyed with a room full of kids flipping their hair, like they have Tourette's syndrome. My teachers in high school just mercilessly mocked the hair flippers until they knocked it off. The hair flippers discovered that it drove the teacher mad, so they began flipping it consciously to diss her off. She created her own monster. We are only allowed to have €2 money for bus. If a teacher that even cares caught you, the teacher would be allowed to take the money and keep it. This was changed due to making it a crime. One time a teacher took €75 from a student. Luckily she was forced to give it back. What the duck is the reasoning behind that? What trouble could you get into with €2? I don't know how they go €2 specifically, but they probably wanted to prevent students from carrying enough money to buy drugs. Ah yes. Because the students buying drugs are definitely going to follow your stupid rules. I was in high school when cell phones finally became accessible enough for most people to have one. It took about a week of senior year for them to declare that no phones were allowed anywhere on school property. Same for my class. But now kids literally have those out at their desks using them, and the teachers are compliant. Yeah. The handbook still says no phones allowed, but that's just not a thing anymore. Kids are usually respectful enough not to use them when the teacher is lecturing, but after the lesson is done they're all out. Always, everything. Our class president freshman year ran on making them allowed during lunch, and that turned into they're allowed at all times. By junior year we became a tech-friendly campus and now we have school Wi-Fi, and you're allowed to bring in any device you want. Laptop, tablet, whatever. Warheads. It grew to such an issue with these sour candies. Kids were organizing a black market where the kids with the highest allowance would buy them in bulk from the corner stores for a nickel each, distribute them to upperclassmen for a quarter each, who would turn around and sell them to the final consumer for 50 cents each candy. There was even a barrier to entry. If you wanted in the business, you would have to eat 3 candies at once and not spit it out or throw up. Warheads are the real gateway into drug dealing. Legit happened at my school. Some kid was selling warheads from 8th grade till 10th grade. Once that business ran dry, he moved on to jewels, pods, weed, pens, etc. Putting condoms on everything. Pens, people's heads, arms, bags, shoes, smartboard remotes, baseball bats, clocks, balls, literally anything. The best bit was that the school gave out free condoms. They were fueling the opposition. After a week, there was a ban on condoms being out in public. Anyone seen with a condom that wasn't in their bag or blazer was immediately given a detention. In my college there was someone brought in to hand out condoms to people. Over the next few days, Tide condoms filled with water kept appearing across a few of the bathrooms. I only see one solution. We need to hire prostitutes. It'll lower the misuse of condoms and relieve stress. Fortune tellers. You know those paper origami ones? Those, oh, and Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards too. Really? Wow. Nobody at my school knew how to make those. Everyone knew how to at mine, and I think the school probably banned them due to the amount of paper we wasted tbh. The girls at my school all knew how to make them and would teach the boys how to. The boy ones were all much more, well, less cute than the girls, shall we say. Rubber bands. Kids weren't even using them to shoot at other kids or otherwise misbehave with them. Kids would buy packs of rubber bands, tie the rubber bands together, making like a big rubber band chain. It became a contest to see who could get a chain of rubber bands to stretch the farthest. You couldn't find a pack of rubber bands at a store for probably 20 miles. This was when I lived in a small town, so there wasn't a ton of stores. In that 20 miles, Amazon or even public internet access didn't exist yet. One kid got so many rubber bands, they could stretch it the length of the school building. Well, stupid, I didn't think it was a bad hobby as kids weren't shooting them or shooting stuff with them. It was all about how big of a chain they could make. School rewarded our pointless creativity with a ban on rubber bands at the school. All rubber band chains were confiscated on site. The kid that started a tuck shop out of his locker went to a wholesaler's, bought some stuff, sold it, used the profits to buy more, repeat and repeat, until he's now staffing a child guard to stop shoplifting and renting other people's lockers for stock overflow. Our classroom just became kids queuing to buy sweets and energy drinks. Sometimes a line so long in 15 minutes he couldn't get everyone waiting served. Then, bam, banned, no selling anything on school property. Pretty much just aimed at this kid. Dude ended up stabbing someone, got expelled. No idea where he is now, but think his shop getting banned and being replaced with an overpriced healthy star-run tuck shop squashed his entrepreneurial spirit. This is the most welcome to the real world life story on here. Young up and comer has great idea. Big company comes in, steals the idea and profits from it. That's unfortunate. Pokemon cards. Pokemon was banned for being popular. Magic was banned for being satanic. Pokemon cards got banned at my school because they became an underground currency and kids were having their cards stolen by bigger kids. It became a huge scandal built out of a bunch of incidents. I remember in the beginning, if you had a super rare card, you'd show it off to all your friends with pride. Towards the end of the Pokemon card craze, if you had a rare card, you'd keep that to-do secret and take it to the grave. If anybody found out you had a Chansey or a shiny Charizard, it'd make you a target, and it would probably be stolen within a week. I was in middle school from 2009 to 2011. Bloons Tower Defense was huge. Everyone played it in any room that had a computer. The school had to install special blockers, but people kept getting around them, so they straight up banned Adobe Flash. Someone at my high school managed to install Quake 3 Arena onto the central server, so it was able to be accessed by any computer connected to the network. There were kids in my web development class playing against other kids having their study hall and the library on the other side of the school. Not sure if the administration ever found out, but the year after I graduated they changed out all of the Windows computers they had for iMacs. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for I upload daily, and suggest what subreddit I should cover next. Thank you and happy travels.